Back in the workshop with the TMC busted down. I'm getting ready to do a repaint. So in the past, I did a video on prep for paint, but I didn't actually show how to do it. So what I'm going to do here, I don't know if we can see, it's got some wear on it. It's been a little beat up, you know. So, and then I got this shroud recently, the Tipman, Elite shroud. So as you can see the pieces right there. What I'm going to do is show how I get this prepped and then actually do a paint job and then go from there. So fresh out of the sink getting washed, you can see some of the wear on it. But so what I've done is literally disassembled this. I even took out the selector switch. I'm not worried about, I know I don't have gloves on. Oh my God, you're touching this stuff you just washed. Really, I was just trying to get the dirt and grime off of it and get the oils and shit off of it. Because what I'm going to do is hit it with this Rust-Oleum aircraft remover. So why am I using aircraft remover on this? Okay, there's probably 3 or 4 coats of paint, different colors. So originally my TMC was black. Then I just painted over it with like a tan upper receiver. Then I did the whole thing tan. Then I sprayed it black. Then I hit it with a matte clear coat. So it's a lot of paint on here. And this one, as you can see, they're actually different color blacks. So if you haven't noticed. So when I do the aircraft remover, that's going to take a lot of this on it. So follow the directions. Make sure you shake this stuff very well. Don't just give it a quick, okay, it's good. No, you got to really make sure this chemical is mixed up. And it says to apply a generous amount. So I'm going to give you a demonstration in a second. All right. So when they say generous, I was generous. And this is what I'm going to say. The more you do this, I've been doing this for a long time. Those inside the trigger guard and these little areas back here and the rail, you want to make sure you hit all of that because this is where you'll be taking the paint from. So, lower receiver in there. You got to let this sit for about 15 to 45. I'm going to let it go the whole 45 because I got a lot of paint on here. So it's been about 30 minutes. I'm going to zoom in here. See if you can see where it's starting to bubble on the paint. So this is the part where patience is key. So this is how you test to see. So some of the paint's coming up, but not a whole lot. So, but I don't know if you can see it there. It's starting to peel. So this is what you're paying attention to. You see how that's tan paint. That's old tan paint that used to be under there. It's all coming off. All right, so valuable lesson. This aircraft remover is not going to take off the paint from the shrouds. So whatever. But on here, just wipes everything right off. The old paint, everything just wipes right off. Look at that. Got it off the back paint area. So I'm going to show you what I got going on so far. So this is what it looks like after I've let the aircraft remover. This is the original black paint. And as you can see, it's still specks of like the cleaner. And as you can see, it's like still specks of the cleaner itself. There's some of the tan paint mixed in with some of this stuff. And you can see a little flaking going on here. So what comes next? So what comes next in this process? Wire brush. And just some hot soap and water, wire brush, and clean this up, and then it'll be ready for paint. All right, so painting journey here with the TMC. What I've actually wound up doing was using sandpaper. I started using a wire brush, but I don't know if you all noticed, and this maybe will save you some headache, but I don't think you can see it here. But I started using a wire brush, and I didn't have a brass fitting or a fiberglass, so it actually started ripping up small chunks of aluminum. So I wound up stopping there and just using a 150 grit sandpaper to kind of get off as much of this. But this goes back to my all right, I know the video is a little grainy, but that's because it's dark. So I shot the shroud as well as the body with specks of black. That's my thing. And I also did the detail work, so it looks like you got a function and then cleaned up all the edges. knocked out the buffer tube. So yeah, it's about ready to go. What I wound up doing after the clear coat, I let it sit for a couple days, and I'm gonna just see if I can do this here. Add a little edge right there. So this is the beauty in clear coat, because it's more than just just something to do. It seals and really protects the paint. So I had to knock this pin in place, so the hammer accidentally hit this, but you can't really tell because the clear coat acts as like a protective cover job. So as you can see again with the details, everything dried up. So now I just got to take some steel wool to the inside and clean up the overspray from where I sprayed the receiver halves. All right, so back from hitting it with the steel wool. So I use lightweight steel wool, very fine. But I'm going to point something out here. I'm going to see if I can darken this up. So actually, you know what? I am going to turn the light on. Ooh, you can really see that shine. But I'm going to show you something. This is the importance of paying attention. This is a casting mistake. All right. So this is where you want to be careful, because right here is where the front bolt cycles to hit the paintball. It's important that when you break these apart and you decide, hey, I'm going to paint, I'm going to shine these up, I'm going to hit them with some steel wool and smooth it out, because there are a lot of casting mistakes in areas where things cycle. So what you want to do is be careful. Then make sure that you clean these areas up and try to smooth them out as much as you can. So that's why it's important for you to make sure when you take on this process and you smooth these out after painting or just general maintenance, check for the casting areas, run your fingers across, and make sure everything is smooth. That just gives you more life on the marker. Ready to rock and roll. As you can see, all the internals, trigger group, and everything. I actually had to order a new trigger group. A safety switch, because I lost a spring, and I got a couple other goodies, but you might be noticing that something is just missing. Where is the stock? It's right here, but I'm not going to put this one back on. Instead, I have ordered the Ratel stock from MagFed Maker, so I will be throwing this on.